What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video where we're going to take a peek at the biggest pile of junk I've ever owned.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. Listen to the heartbeat of America. Oh yeah.
The legendary Chevy Camaro. You've always hoped someday you could afford one. Welcome to someday.
The heartbeat of America.
Oh, a long time ago, I used to think that I would have a nice Camaro. Alright, sorry about that. But without everybody watching, near and afar, this would not be possible. Just kidding, it's super possible. You could donate plasma like, I would guess 10 times total, and you can buy yourself a Camaro like this. I bought it, it's more like a parts car. I thought it'd be fun to try and get it running before I try and kind of part it out. I'm trying to raise a little bit of money on the side to actually put back into the track, because that'll be an ongoing money pit that I am incinerating cash in.
According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion.
Anyways, we're gonna go up the hill to Island Lake, just north of Duluth, and what we're gonna do is pick up a 1989 Camaro RS, which is actually completely impersonating a Z28 Camaro. I posted on the 3rd Gen Camaro and Firebird page last night as it was to get a little bit of clarification on it. I was pretty sure that it was an RS in disguise, and now that I posted there's a lot of things pointed out that I didn't even think of. So it is 1000% for sure a 1989 RS. But anyways, it comes with a really good set of wheels and tires. I'm hoping those alone are pretty much going to bring all of my money back. And yeah, we'll see if we can get this car running, and then I'll probably end up selling it, maybe play with it at the track a little bit, but it is beyond rusty. So this is not a nice car. I'm not going to paint it. I'm not going to restore it. I'm not going to do any of these things. The guy that's got this car has an amazing shop and an even killer collection of 80s GM product and a couple of 1st Gen Camaros. So I'll talk to him when I'm there, see if he's okay with filming or not. I absolutely understand that he wouldn't be, but it'd be kind of fun to give you guys a tour of what he's got in his garage. It is way off the charts cool. So I guess that's all I got. We're heading up to Island Lake. I've got a little bit of a drive ahead of me, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, so I am a couple of minutes away, and the gentleman is right behind me, probably by, I would guess, 10-15 minutes. I got here a lot earlier than I thought I was going to, but I wanted to ask people, in northern Wisconsin and Minnesota, this is a thing where when you're on lake property, people make decorative signs with their family name on it, and they're all over the place. I was going to ask you guys if that's the same as it is where you guys live, whether it's in another country or another part of the United States or what have you. But I always find it interesting that you don't see that on residential streets anywhere. It's only when you're around lake property. Kind of interesting. So I'll try and give you an example here if I drive by another one quick. But at the entrance to the road, there's like a dozen of them up on a big big post. So it's something you always see, it seems like, when you're on at lakes. Alright, here we are. It's a 1989 Chevrolet Camaro RS Super POS edition. It's got the full Z28 ground effects going on here. Both sides, they appear to be, I guess it'd be off of an earlier model. It's got the 15-inch wheels, RS taillights, Z28 bumper. But the long and short of it is that this car is a real pile of crap. But I thought it'd be fun to try and get it running and give you guys a little bit of content to enjoy. The engine appears to be all complete. There's a full black interior with it. It's an original black on black car. It has a DX3 stripe delete option, so I don't know. I don't know why that would have came on an RS. It seems to be like an Iroc thing or a Z28 or something that would come with graphics on the sides, but not so much the RS model, I would say. But this is kind of a pile of crap, and I'm going to play with it for a little bit. So we'll see what happens with it. I'm going to get the trailer backed up and kind of squared up to it, and we'll kind of see what we got. But that's all for now. I don't know if I'm going to film anything with the gentleman here, but I'm just filming for a minute right before we get going. So I'm going to get the trailer all set up, and we'll get putzing with this thing. Alright guys, it is 6 in the afternoon, which means it is pitch black time here in the northern part of the United States. I didn't end up doing any filming while we were loading it up, or the garage or anything. The gentleman I bought it from preferred to remain anonymous, as you should nowadays. So unfortunately I can't share any of that stuff with you. You did get a glimpse of it outside when I was kind of walking around it, but anyways, the tow's going good. The amount of crap that is blown out from the car is kind of astonishing. Really, it was sitting under a tree for, you know, a decade, it sounds like. The last tabs on her in 2008. And yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up on this tomorrow probably. I'm coming down the Duluth Hill right now. Trailer's doing awesome, truck's doing awesome, and so far the car's still back there. And I will check up with you guys when I've got some more light. Well guys, this is a sad sight. I was honestly hoping that this was going to be kind of a fun project for the channel. I took a big chance on it, hoping that it was going to turn over at the very least. I mean, if you can turn it over, you got something. But up in here, you'll see I peeled out the starter because jump starting it, it just went ka-chunk. I thought the battery that was in it might have had a bad cell. It's still in the car right now, but I took it out here and I bench, quote, bench tested the starter with this battery and jumper cables. Starter spins absolutely free, so not the starter. I tried to turn it over by hand with the harmonic balancer, and it was rock solid. I got my pry bar onto the ring gear of the flywheel of the transmission, and that was also rock solid. The last giveaway, there's no oil in it, which that was the first thing that I noticed. You know, there was coolant, transmission fluid, everything but oil. That's kind of the dead giveaway that there's really something wrong with it, because the plug was there, the oil filter's there, all that. It was just ran empty probably, or who knows what happened. There was coolant in the radiator, a little coolant in the reservoir, power steering fluid, you know, the works. So I had hope that it was going to turn over, even with, you know, a little problem, need a little love, wiring issue, what have you. But this thing is locked solid, which means that this thing is probably worth maybe what I paid for it. You know, I paid 500 bucks for it, but you know, it is what it is. I thought it was worth trying. I just listed the car tonight. I don't want to start collecting junk, so this thing's got to go. It's got a full black interior. It's a factory black on black car as far as the paint and the ground effects. Z28 body kit, but I'll wheel the extra wheels that I got in, and I'll show you why it kind of sweetened the deal. I think they're worth a few $100 alone. So took an L today, boys, but that's just a quick little snippet of kind of what I'm trying to do in the background. You know, usually I don't film everything, but I filmed a little bit of this, and I just wanted to share this half success failure as it would be. But I'll show you the wheels that I got with it. All right, so it's looking fairly dismal on the Camaro, but these are the four, I think they're 85 to 87 Z28 wheels and tires that came with it. They're all matching, 15x7. They came on a white car that the gentleman owned, but great tread on them. I'm actually having a guy come and pick them up right now. I've got no use for them, but it sweetened up the deal enough where I'm pretty much into the car for what I sold those for $200. So that's right around scrap value. I figured because he offered to give those with the car, I couldn't really go wrong for paying 500 bucks for everything. So anyways, I ended up a guy and a local car guy's coming to pick those up right now. Somebody's coming to look at the car for like 800 bucks, and we'll just see what happens. I may have to drop it a little bit. Otherwise, yeah, we'll just see what happens. But I just wanted to show you guys those wheels real quick before they disappear and kind of get an idea for what the whole deal was. So 200 bucks for this thing. Alright, so we are going to drop off the Camaro right now. We're meeting a fella that's buying it up in Cloquet. Yeah, this is a lot shorter lived than I thought it was gonna. It is so far gone, rusty, having no title, as well as having the engine apparently being seized up. I was told there was a wiring problem, but it doesn't seem to be salvageable at this point. Didn't try real hard, but at the end of the day, with how bad the rust is, it's just not worth going through the work to get it going, even if I'm only into it for a couple $100. So that being said, I'm on my way up to Cloquet right now to drop it off, and hopefully we're gonna either just push it right onto this fellow's trailer, or we'll do a drop and pick it up onto his forward. I don't know quite what's gonna happen yet, but I will see you guys in a little bit, and I'll give you a quick glimpse at how rusty this thing really is, because it is beyond repair. All right, so you probably haven't seen how rusty this thing is, but if you take a quick peek down here, you'll notice the extraordinary lack of flooring. And it seems to kind of go, you know, to the top of the subframe. All the subframe seems pretty good on it, but ultimately, it's a real rotten pile of junk. So check that out. There is nothing below here. There's nothing below the seat. I mean, the seat bolts kind of broke out when he was trying to secure it or whatever, but overall, the car is just so rough that it's really not worth the time to fix up. It truly is a parts car. I mean, here's a little better view of it, but the floors are gone from like here all the way into the frame rail. So it's just rusty. That's just the sad nature of it. It's rusted down in here on both sides. Spare tire well is gone. I mean, from start to finish, it's pretty much irredeemable. So, of course, it's all rotted through there. The trunk's actually okay looking, which is kind of surprising, and as is the back of the car. The passenger side is a little better, but apparently the dude that this fella bought it from was drunk, slid into a pole. I mean, the door, the quarter, rusted all through here. It's too much of a basket case for me to take on. So it's off to the next guy, and I'm really hoping to meet him here in a couple minutes. Maybe we'll do a trailer transfer is kind of my hope, but time will tell. So I'll catch up with you guys when we're unloaded. Well, that couldn't have gone any better. And it turns out the fella that bought the car, that came with to buy the car, they looked at me and the dude goes, "Do I know you from YouTube?" I was like, "Yeah." They've been watching the racetrack series, so pretty funny. What a small world. But anyways, they're getting loaded up, and I am gonna hit the road and go back home. I guess that's all I've got for this segment of the video, and I will talk to you guys in a little while. So that's all that really happened with that 89 Camaro RS, and we're gonna jump back in time a little bit. I did have that 99 Z28 for a while. I thought I was going to go farther with it than I actually ultimately ended up going, but as you can see, it's gone. And that's a bummer, but it's also a good thing because the Camaro does live on the Dad Mods YouTube channel. So if you guys want more F-body content specifically on that car, go check them out. I've got enough projects for 10 lifetimes, and ultimately what I found out is that I don't have enough time or money to do all these different things. The Camaro needed a transmission rebuild. The rear end should be rebuilt. It needed suspension, and it just a bunch more work than honestly I had money or time to put into it, or mental energy, truly. So I'm trying to become more honest with myself and stop taking on long-term projects. I can do short ones. Like I've got the snowmobile right here I've been working on. I ended up tearing the track and taking out the heat exchanger, and I'm waiting for a couple more parts to go riding this year. But I've got the chain case all apart right now and everything all cleaned up, ready to go on the bench. But I'll give you the last update on the Camaro. I ended up getting a Corbeau seat for like 10 bucks for that thing. I bought a Corbeau F-body seat slider bracket. Pretty much the last thing I did was do a little bit of carpet cleaning on that car, get an aftermarket seat in it. I found out I really didn't like the seat, so I put the factory one back in, and I ended up listing it for sale, and my buddy Jake bought it. Well, there you have it. There's the final update on the Camaro. It's been up to the track a couple of times since selling it, so that car is still around, and who knows, maybe one day I'll end up buying it back when I've got a little bit more free time and some free money, or who knows what the future holds. But if you want to check out that Camaro build or the continuation of it, go to the Dad Mods YouTube channel. Jake and Donnie are local, and they've been a big help out at the track. I've been on Jake and Donnie's podcast before a couple of times, and it's gone to a really good home. So I'm happy that Jake's got it. He seems to be enjoying it so far. And once again, Dad Mods YouTube, check it out. Well, that's pretty much all I've got for today's video. The 99 Z28 is gone, the 89 RS is gone, and the 86 Iroc-Z is also gone. So a couple people had asked about the white Iroc-Z that was on the channel. It had a 350 small block and a T5 in it. It was white. That car is also since sold. That was a bigger pile of crap than it was worth putting any money into, honestly. And a lot of people probably watch YouTube and see views or subscriber counts and go, okay, let's say somebody makes a lot of money on YouTube making videos, and generally that is not the case. So in my case, it does not make any financial sense to keep a car around for the simple fact that, like, okay, you might make a couple $100 on YouTube in a month. It doesn't make any sense. So if a car disappears, it's because I live the same way you guys do. And frankly, if a car needs more work than it's worth before or after you do the work to it, it's not worth keeping around. So you'd be kind of a moron to keep it around. And, you know, I'm going to keep this Trans Am around. It's a car that I love, and it's near and dear to my heart. I've got sentimental attachment to it now, of course, but I'm going to keep plugging away on this car. I am going to put the LS6 intake manifold on it. I have a set of LS6 heads, but the power that I may gain from it is frankly, again, not worth the time and money to put them on, because even with a good set of heads, this might make, you know, just over 400 wheel horsepower. And it's just not that fast of a vehicle, you know, especially after having the C6 Z06 that was on the channel prior. This thing is still going to feel slow. So I may end up selling them. It doesn't cost me anything to shelve them as they are right now, but I will probably put on that LS6 intake. It's up on the shelf over there. So this winter, in the off season from the racetrack, I'll probably put that on finally. And this thing will flow a little bit better. Might pick up a little power because it still has the factory LS1 intake manifold on. But that's neither here nor there right now. I'm going to quit rambling on. That's all I got for today's video. I'm going to finish editing this and get an upload done for you guys. And the next video will be on the track. So we'll see you guys in the next upload.